episode 157 of the Concealed Taco Dudes podcast.
Woo, woo, woo. Today it's a shorter lunchtime episode.
Yeah.
This is just me, Taco, and
Jason, Concealment Solutions. And you always say a shorter lunchtime episode. I don't think we've actually done a shorter one yet.
yeah, well,
Maybe,
yeah, maybe so.
There might have been a couple that were about 50 minutes.
Yeah, true, yeah. But this one probably will be.
This one probably will be.
Because we do not have as much time to record.
Exactly.
But
Should we knock out some sponsors?
Let's hit the sponsors.
NOE Bullet Molds at noebulletmolds.com. They've got some new stuff.
Yes, okay, so we just have to mention a couple things.
Knock it out.
So they have updated their forums. So they got those new forums going, and with those new forums are 4 new group buys.
Ooh.
And those 4 new group buys are for it's actually a really cool idea.
Yeah, you were telling me about it. It sounds
probably
pretty exciting.
A brainchild between me and Al just sitting and chatting for a bunch. And so what we came up with is some common caliber universal molds.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So I'll explain that a little bit better, but just so you know, there's each mold will come with it will come with 4 different sets of pins, the RG pins, and normally the RG pins are for hollow points, but the bullets are flipped upside down in the mold, and so it's a nose pour, so the nose is at the top, and then you have your hollow base pins at the bottom.
Okay.
And so it'll come with each mold type or diameter, whatever style, will come with 4 sets of pins. One will be the lightest weight, will be a hollow base. And so, for example, in 9mm, I think it's a 90 grain.
Okay.
And so it'll have the same nose for each bullet. So the same nose, same seating depth,
same profile,
everything. So if you're using these molds and you have like these 4 different bullet weights, you don't have to mess with your dies. You'll just have to change your powder charge.
Sure.
So that's really kind of...
so you're not recalibrating the entire reloader every time.
Yeah, you don't have to change your dies at all as far as the seating depth, because it'll seat the same way.
So you're getting one mold that does essentially 4 different weight bullets.
Yeah. So the same nose,
caliber.
But the hollow base, so each one comes with a hollow base, and I think in the 458, then it's a 290 grain hollow base.
Okay.
But then I told Al that it'd be cool to have them have pins that were the perfect length to create common for the caliber bullet weights.
Yeah.
So for example, 9mm will be the hollow base 90 grain, then it'll be a 115, a 124, and then a 147.
Yeah.
So it kind of pretty much does everything that you would do.
That's cool.
And because they are the RG molds, then they're available in 2-cavity or 4-cavity configurations.
Nice.
And he is offering them in steel, which is... I'm going to get the 458 in steel just because, it just... I don't know. It'll last forever.
Yeah.
It'll give me some cool options, and maybe do some zinc bullets in it.
Okay.
But the other 3, I'm gonna get one of each.
I'm sure you are.
Because I need to, because these I don't know if they'll ever be made again.
Yeah.
And so the other ones are you could get in like aluminum 4-cavity. That's what I'm going to do with the other 3. But the other diameters he's offering are 357. So it'd be I forget the weight, the hollow base one.
Yeah.
But then it goes 125, 158, and then 180.
Okay.
And then on the 44 mag or 44, then I forget the bottom weight. It might be like 160.
Okay.
Hollow base, and then it's a 200 grain, then 240, and then a 300 grain.
Wow.
So
cool.
Anyways, and then the 458, like for 458 SOCOM, 4570, it's 290 grain hollow base, and then a 350, since that's a super common, weight, and 405, which is also super common, and then the 500.
Okay.
And the nose profile, which we chose for that, will be the one that it's the one I drew up for. Originally, it was a 354 grain, and it has a crimp groove for the 4570. So it gives the 4570 its it cycles in the lever actions, but has a pretty good nose. I really like the nose on that bullet.
Okay.
So, anyways, so having that 405 in with that nose is really exciting to me.
Okay.
So, anyways,
So if somebody wants to
If
get
you
in on
wanna
that
get on
group
those,
buy, and I
yeah.
assume the group buy is going to be a discounted price.
I'm not sure. At least it will
Okay.
be the price offered where it is now, right?
Yeah.
And the prices might go up later, but
Right.
it guarantees you a mold at that price.
Okay.
So, and then it also gives you a chance to kind of push which design gets produced first, because whichever one gets
Whichever one gets the
10
interest.
users signed up first. And it's kind of funny because I signed up and Al signed up because I think we both want one of each.
Yeah, sure.
You know, Al recognizes how cool the design is. I don't think it's been done before.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of a unique thing.
Yeah. That sounds
So-
cool.
And it's not hard to swap out the
pin.
pin size, you know, the
Right.
different length pins. And you
Yeah.
could have, you know, if you want to, you could do 2 of one size, 2 of another,
another,
or
yeah.
like 1, 2, 3, 4, all different. You
Yeah.
know, whatever you want to do.
Cool.
I would probably do, you know,
One size. So you
one
have to
size,
sort
crank out
through
the
'em.
then swap the pins and do another size.
Yeah.
But
So how do people get in on the group buy?
so to get in on the group buy, all you got to do is go to noebulletmolds.com and then click on the forums and then click on the group buys.
Okay.
And then active group buys. And then you find the design that you want, and I helped him set up those group buys. So it has pictures, the technical drawings of each bullet
Okay.
and the weights and everything. And so you could say, I want a, 2-cavity aluminum, 2-cavity steel, or 4-cavity aluminum, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you'll get added to the list, and yeah, you'll be guaranteed
Cool.
a mold. So
That's pretty exciting.
yeah, in the age where you feel like all the bullet molds have already been built,
Yeah. There's
then
nothing new out there.
yeah, then that's kind of a little bit of I don't know, what do you call it, like something new. It's just
Yeah.
it's something new that
It's something it's new and exciting.
new and exciting that hasn't been done before. And if you're a new bullet caster, it's kind of a cool way to get in
Yeah.
if you don't
Well, and
have
it gives you more options.
yes, variety. And if you get one of those steel ones, it'll last forever.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
anyways, you can tell I'm super excited about it.
I can tell.
And I've been trying to tell all my buddies, hey, you gotta sign up because I want Al to like make these like tomorrow, so I could get going on it because
Right.
I really want to get going on some of those. Some of them, it's like with the 44 mag, I'm not as excited about.
Yeah.
I just know I will want it.
Yeah.
Because then
Sure.
I'll have it for the future.
Sure.
But that 458 and that one's I'm really excited about because
Right.
I want to do those. Well, I want to play around with the hollow base 290s, but also the 405. Those two are the ones that kind of pique my interest the most.
Right.
Of any of those, I guess. So
Cool.
Anyways, noebulletmolds.com. If they have something that you want right now, not in group buy, then use coupon code FLT001. It'll save you like 10%.
Nice. Nice.
So.
Cool. Utah Air Guns. UtahAirGuns.com.
Yeah. Have you been in there recently?
I've been in a few times, but just dropping off product and picking up money, stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Anything on the radar for you?
So
I know you had talked about a big bore.
I still do want to get a big bore, probably a Air Force Texan.
Texan, like, do you know 45 cal or
I'll
50?
do a 45, yeah. But it's not a high priority, and I don't have the budget for it right now, so... we'll see.
Some of those new, if you get the 45 cal, I believe it's a 458 bullet they use, or 457.
Right.
This mold
I
would
think
be
it is
like...
a 457.
Yeah, this mold would be really good for that because
You can make a hollow,
you can
hollow
make-
base slug.
Yeah. Yeah,
would
that
be
hollow
cool.
base 290 would actually be... I would assume it would be perfect for that
Yeah,
air gun.
yeah.
So,
That would be cool.
yeah.
They did have, Travis was showing me, it's a Humerex, which not very big on the Humerex stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of real low end, a lot of their stuff. They have some nicer stuff.
Yeah.
But
Generally speaking, you hear Humerex and you think
you
kind of
think-
like lower end
I
stuff.
think like Airsoft.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And they're nicer than that, but they have one.
And this is coming from Airgun Noobs, right? Jason and I are air gun
Yes, yes.
That's our impressions
That's
when we
our
hear
impression.
Umarex.
Yes.
But if maybe they make really high-end stuff that we just don't know about, but...
And I can't remember the name of the gun. It's like a Notos or something like that they're doing. It is a regulated, magazine-fed rifle. I think it's a rifle or a carbine.
Something. Yeah.
It's smaller, super light. I was really impressed.
What caliber is it?
22. They're only doing it in 22, but it's selling for $250.
Ooh.
And Travis was telling me that, we shooting them on the range and that he's like, they're really pretty accurate guns, and for the price point, that's like the perfect entry level gun.
Like
somebody who's just getting
started.
into it. Because I've got
or a loner gun. Like if you're like me and you take people shooting, you don't want to have them
But the beauty of it is it's regulated, which I don't know that there's a whole lot of other stuff out there that's regulated in that price point. I know my Benjamin Marauder pistol, it's not regulated. I love that gun. It's super fun and it's super accurate. But you do lose you lose some performance as you're shooting it, until you refill it. And so having a regulated gun, you're going to have more consistency with every shot. So that's really cool. I was tempted to just grab one while I was there.
But you didn't?
But I didn't.
Okay, so I looked it up real fast.
Oh, good.
The Umarex Notos, Notos,
yeah,
it has a stock, but it has a short barrel, so it's a little carbine.
Yeah.
And it is, launching a 12 grain, 22 caliber pellet at 700 FPS. So it's not going to be a big killer gun.
Right.
But
it's kind of on par with that
little
Benjamin Marauder, but it's regulated, so it's going to be more consistent with every shot.
Yeah,
it's
so
about the same
it has
price,
a 7-shot rotary mag.
Yeah. And I think you can get probably about 20 shots out of a fill.
It's got a side lever for cocking.
And it lays in flat against the side of the gun, which is kind of nice.
Huh. I'll have to take a look. I don't know if it's something I would buy.
Yeah.
I think I would probably go with just above that price point would be Air Venturi Avenger.
Yes. That's it.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
If I said it wrong, it sounds like that. It rhymes with that. So.
Yeah. You're, I think, about 50 or 70 bucks more.
Yeah, 50, 60, 70 bucks more, and you still get the regulated gun, but it's got more power.
It's a much bigger gun as well.
It's got a long barrel.
Mm-hmm.
It still has the cheap filling plastic.
Yeah.
But
I think they do a wood version.
Oh, yeah?
I could be wrong. But anyway.
That's the one we got from my nephew.
Uh-huh.
And he killed ground squirrels plenty fine with that.
Oh, nice.
So that one was pushing more like, I think I tuned it to like 900 feet per second for the Hades pellet.
Yeah.
And he was smacking stuff with it.
Nice.
And as well as that, the one kid, we got him one for his graduation present.
Oh, yeah.
And took him on a squirrel hunt. Yeah, so I know 2 people who have those guns, and they've performed very well on small game like squirrels. And
there's a lot of new stuff in the air gun world. So yeah, go check out Utah Air Guns at utahairguns.com. There's some cool stuff to be aware of, and if you're looking to just get into something, there's some really good inexpensive options. And if you use the code AirCandy, you get free shipping and free turret stickers. So go check that out.
BlackIceCoatings.com. I need to go head down and visit Lee and take a few things to
I've been there regularly the last
yeah?
couple weeks. So
you took that bike there?
I got my bike frame and my fork redone.
Oh,
so the fork we just Cerakoted and put new graphics on it, and he cleared over all the graphics. Looks brand spanking. Actually, it looked better than new.
Better than new.
But so yeah, just picked that up, and we dipped my frame on my daily mountain bike, trail bike, bikepacking bike. One that bike's got over 5,000 miles on it now. I've gone through 2 sets of wheels.
Oh, geez, that's actually pretty cool.
But that's the bike that gets most of my attention. and I absolutely love that thing, and I'm so excited. I just picked it back up from him on Saturday, but we dipped it in. I couldn't get away from the sugar skulls. Really like the sugar skulls, but it's all paisleys, and the skulls are made up of these tiny paisleys, and it's all metallic gold over black. So it's kind of classy looking. And then I did orange decals, orange stickers for the bike brand. It's Salsa. Yeah, it's the brand, and yeah.
So I have a request to it's a question to the listeners asking for feedback about a project. You've heard about my 20 practical varminter that I'm building out of a Ruger Predator, or Ruger American action. And so I want to know from the end users, or not the listener. Sorry, I want to know from the listeners what they think I should get that one done in, whether dipped or Cerakoted or Teflon coated.
What's the purpose behind the build?
It is to murder vermin.
Okay,
that's it.
Okay, so maybe something with rat skulls,
or flying pigs. Who knows?
Prairie dogs.
Yeah,
zombie prairie dogs.
Yeah, maybe like a skull type look. Maybe put the chassis, dip it in with skulls, and then have I don't know. Yeah. That could be kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got lots of cool options. But anyway.
Yeah. Send us an email at concealedtacodudes@gmail.com.
Yep.
And let us know what you guys think I should do for that.
Jump on Black Ice Coating's social media, and you can see a lot of the stuff that they do and things like that. But
the hydro dipping stuff is really cool for style.
I am amazed at the quality on this thing. This one was even, I think the dip turned out even better than the last bike I had him do. And I knew I'd done good with the pattern and everything. I showed it to my 13-year-old son. "Oh, Dad, that's legit. That's totally lit." I was like, okay.
Totally lit.
Yeah, so I'm like, all right. the kids in my ride group are going to think I'm the cool coach. So anyway, I'll post some pictures of that once I get it all put back together. Unfortunately, I can't do a complete new build on it. I'm putting all the old parts back on it, but it doesn't matter. I love that bike, and I'm super excited to get it back. It needs to stop snowing here.
Yeah, it really needs to stop snowing. So I need to get out and shoot so bad. I got that itch, and I just need to scratch it.
Yeah. Magholder, magholder.com. Use the code Get in the Van. I have candy. Saves you 20%, something like that. They should be releasing. So I designed for him a while back a platform that you can carry 2 mag holders at the same time, one on top of the other, stacked vertically. They work super, super well, super comfortable, and easy to carry 2 mag carriers. I don't know if he's got them on the website yet, but if they are not there and you're interested, email him and say, "Dude, why aren't these up there yet? I heard about them on the podcast." Literally everybody I have shown them to at my shop has bought one. Some more than one. Yeah. Well, I need 2 for this and 2 for that, and they're really cool. So go check those out at magholder.com.
Awesome.
Concealment Solutions at concealmentsolutions.com. I'm excited. I've got some new products that will be launching next month, assuming all goes well.
You're talking about...
So I've got a new belt.
I'm wearing it right now.
I'm wearing one too. We've been testing them to make sure that everything's working out well. Have all the sources or the components sourced, just waiting for things to come in. But they will. It's an awesome. It's a double layered webbing belt, but it's got a stiffener in it. So there will be 4 different sizes, and each size will cover about 6 inches. So they're very adjustable. The nice thing is
it's easy to adjust.
It's easy to adjust, and then if you're going to the bathroom or whatever, you just pinch it open and it unbuckles really easy.
Yeah.
So if
you got to go real bad, you don't have to fiddle with getting that.
It's an easy, quick release.
Yeah.
But it doesn't change.
It's like a 2-button quick release.
Yeah, but it doesn't change the adjustment on it.
Yeah.
So you just snap it back closed and you're right back where you need to be. and on Thanksgiving you can just
loosen it a little bit, and yeah.
But I've been super happy with these. It's something that I've been wanting to put together. I bought an industrial sewing machine so I could make prototypes, and I just had issues with this machine and haven't been able to get it up. And so the person that does all my webbing sewing for like my chest harnesses and my thigh straps and all that kind of stuff, finally I got her materials. I'm like, okay, I need prototypes to test, and I've got a handful of people testing them. All positive feedback. So hopefully next month those will be released, and I'm hoping...
Do you know a price point, roughly?
It's going to be between $50 and $60.
Okay, that's not bad for
right.
a really good carry belt.
These will blow the doors off of 90% of everything else that's out there.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. Also I'm expanding my product line into, as you guys, I like knives.
Yeah.
I like knives a lot. So I like bushcrafting and preparedness and stuff like that. So I have a line of bushcrafting knives that I have on order that are coming in. They're all high carbon steel. I've had one for a few years. Been totally impressed with it. They're not super expensive, but the quality is really amazing.
Yeah.
So
I played around with mine a little bit. I still need it to stop snowing, so I can actually go out and
you're not standing in a foot of snow.
Use it to light fires. I took it on our winter camp out and stuff, but Jason makes this really cool knife sheet that has for the bushcrafting knife, but it has a little spot for the ferro rod, and it's not the little wussy kind.
It's a 1/2-inch diameter, I think, ferro rod. They're huge, and they throw
good sparks.
They're freaking flamethrowers. So I've got those coming as well. So basically, and this company I'm getting them from, they provide actually quite nice leather sheaths for them, but I ordered them all without sheaths. I got a little bit of a price break without the sheaths, so I can make my own, because as nice as the sheaths are that they come with them, the ones I make are better.
Yeah, and I have a couple knives on order through you. Yeah. And I plan on getting knife sheaths made by you.
Right.
With those ferro rod holders and stuff.
It's an awesome combination.
It really is. And I think that is... It's going to be, like, if you have an outdoorsy buddy...
Yeah.
It is a perfect, like, birthday or Christmas gift.
They'll be great to throw in a bug out bag. They're great for any outdoor adventure, backyard, starting fires and stuff like that. So I'm really excited about that. Hopefully, I'm really looking forward to building a relationship with this company. They're out of Ukraine, which is... I thought was kind of odd. Like, okay. Yeah. I was surprised
the fact that you can get it to you.
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, it's no problem.
Yeah, it's this one guy who has a knife shop.
Well, it's more than that. They're a little bigger than that, but it's a family-run business in Ukraine, and the quality is exceptional. So look for those if you want to see. I've posted pictures of my knife with in a sheath. It's in a multicam sheath with that ferro rod attached to it, so you can kind of see what those are going to be. And there's a handful of different models that I'm getting, so I don't have prices set on everything yet. But including the ferro rod, which will have a handle on it, and the knife sheath and the knife, we're probably going to be in about the $70 to $80 range for the complete package, which is
not bad
at all.
Everything,
especially like I said, for the quality. Yeah, I've been really happy with mine. But anyway, use the code Show Me the Candy when you check out Concealment Solutions, and you'll get a pretty good discount that way.
Sweet.
Anyway, let's move on.
All right, I have some listener feedback.
Okay.
All right, so this first one is from Mike in PA.
Okay.
Mike from Pennsylvania. He says, on the recent podcast, you were talking about the older Ruger lever actions. These are loosely based on the Savage Model 99. Bill Ruger took inspiration for many of his models of guns from older and larger models. The Mini 14 is based off of the M14 but scaled down. The original 22 autoloader takes cues from the German Luger. The little... Yeah, the little
and that's
mark.
not unusual.
Yeah, and also the what is it? The 1022 is kind of looks like a
kind of
the M1 carbine.
Yeah.
So it was
Sure.
styled after that.
Yeah.
And then he continues and says, it was only after Bill Ruger's death that you saw more modern designs in the Ruger lineup.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. I'll have to look up the Savage Model 99 to see kind of what similarities there are. Kevin C. writes in and he says, the 1911 that takes Glock mags. I would be very interested. The great trigger with 17, 21, 27, 33 round mags would have a lot of appeal.
Okay. I can see that argument.
Yeah, if you can get that same trigger of a 1911 and then but have the the capacity of
and we're getting overrun with 2011s now. Like everybody's making a 2011. I get people almost weekly, hey, last week, hey, can you make me a gun for holster for this gun? I'm like, I've never heard of that gun. What? They're super popular. And I'm like, they're not super popular. I've never even heard of it. But it's a 2011.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them coming out. And I think that fact is kind of changing the perspective. Or maybe it's opening up a door to new kind of 1911 folks that, wouldn't necessarily go with a traditional configuration 1911 because of maybe magazine capacity or something like that. But the 2011 is opening a door to a whole new crowd that I guess would be more open to, a plastic Glock magazine in there. Yeah. Double stacked 1911.
Well, you think about how cheap the magazines are. Like, you can get the Magpul Glock magazines, and those are what, like
14, 15 bucks, something like that.
What other handgun has magazines that cheap? Nothing.
Yeah, nobody.
So
yeah, good point.
And he continues and says, listening to Taco's winter camping, that's where we did the snow caves.
Right.
Did that. Reminds me of trips I took to northern Minnesota.
Yikes.
We would ski in several hours, pulling our gear in sleds, pile up the snow for Quincy, and wait for it to set while we ate dinner, minimum 2 hours. Hollow it out and put in our gear. 18 degrees inside, 30 below outside. The last year I did a snow coffin. Maybe I did it wrong because I froze.
Yeah.
Yeah. Snow coffins versus snow caves versus.
There's a reason it's called a coffin.
Yeah. Well, and
you don't have as much insulation around you.
No. Well, the top. It depends on how you do the top.
Yeah.
And
it's a shelter that you can do very quickly in an emergency.
Very minimal effort.
What the coffin idea is.
And when you do a luxury coffin, then it insulates even worse because, like with what we did, I could sit up pretty tall, kind of not quite stand up in it, but
Okay.
So with that extra headspace, you just have more cold air around.
Right.
And we just had a tarp that on the very top of it, the tarp was not insulated.
Sure.
But the edges, we piled snow on to cover the tarp to hold it down.
Keep draft from coming in.
So pros and cons. We let the boys have the good ones, the snow caves, so they would stay warm, and then we just have better gear to keep us warm when the snow is, or when the temperatures are that much colder for us. So, anyways, Eric writes in and he says, good afternoon, gentlemen. I listened to the podcast talking about the SHOT Show goodies you liked. I will be attending NRA AM in Indianapolis on April 14th through 16th. If you would like me to tactically fondle any items of interest, I can report back with my observations. It's going to be my first time to one of these events, so I already have my vendor list and map printed with must-visit vendors highlighted. Nice. So I have a question for Eric. What is on your list of must-visit vendors? Like which things are you really interested in? For me, I don't even know what I would request that he tactically fondle.
Yeah.
Because I'm not expecting a crazy awesome new reloading press or something,
right?
Which would, I don't know, it seems like a lot of the new stuff, there wasn't really anything new
there wasn't
rifle wise that was a kind of boom, hey, you need to buy this, but the pistols, there were some things that were pretty interesting that I'd really like to try out. between, and we talked about those specific ones were ones that I kind of wanted to.
Yeah, somebody was supposed to bring me one of those. I can't remember what it's called now. One of those pistols that's made in Cedar City.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I think it's the 5.0.
Yeah, somebody was supposed to.
Rock Island Armory 5.0.
Yeah, somebody contacted me not too long after we aired that episode.
I really want to get my hands on one of those.
Yeah, bring it by. Okay, I'll set something up, man. Now,
if anybody knows how to get a hand on one of those, let us know, because those seemed really cool.
Yeah,
it was a cool idea. It was unique, different,
right?
And I'd love to try one out and just see.
Yeah,
as well as that one Glock Mag 1911. I would really like to try that out. Yeah. But a lot of the other stuff, regular 2011 stuff, it just doesn't really call out to me much.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then he continues and says that feel free to peruse the vendor list and let me know if you have anything specific you're interested in. Love all you guys. Thank you for the almost weekly edutainment you provide. P.S. I will always remember Mark's President Day purchase and giveaway. Even though I didn't win it. His humor is unforgettable. So
Mark is awesome.
Thanks for writing in, guys. We appreciate it.
Okay.
And
let's jump into news.
And now, the news.
I've been seeing a lot of self-defense articles and a lot of women defending themselves.
Yeah. One thing that I noticed in perusing stuff before I grabbed this story, there was a lot of stuff coming out of Seattle.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which, in all the years I've been doing podcasting and news stories and stuff like that,
You don't recall stories from Seattle?
Not like this. So, Anyway, I just find that interesting. So, a man survived being shot 3 times during a gun battle that erupted during an attempted robbery in South Seattle Tuesday night. At 11:09 p.m., police were called to the 500 block of South Thistle Street for reports of a shooting. Officers arrived. I haven't been drinking, I promise. Officers arrived to find a 30-year-old man outside who had been shot once in each leg with a 3rd gunshot wound to one of his feet. And this is the guy who was attacked.
Yeah.
He says the victim, who had already put a tourniquet on one of his legs, was helped by officers until medics from the Seattle Fire Department arrived and took him to Harborview Medical Center. The man told officers that he had just gotten home with his wife and 2 children. When he got out of the car to start getting his children out of the back seat, 2 armed suspects approached the couple and demanded they hand over their belongings. At that point, the victim pulled out a handgun and exchanged gunfire with 2 suspects. The man told police that as he was shooting, he moved away from his family to try to distance them from the gunfire.
Very
His
smart.
wife and children were not hurt, and the 2 suspects fled in 2 different cars.
Huh.
So, I liked this because it sounds like this guy's had some training. He's thought about this.
Yeah.
Because you don't get thrown into a situation like that and think of, move away from the family, engage this and that, and da-da-da-da-da. But I would be curious if he got any shots on those guys.
Yeah.
They didn't go to the hospital if they did, and he was shot in each leg and the foot. Which tells me that they were idiots.
Just bad aim.
Or no aim.
Yeah.
They were probably retreating and shooting as they're trying to get away. But one thing, maybe had he been a little more aware of the situation around him, that, he could have been aware that there were people watching him. I don't know. But again, they got 2 little kids with them. They're getting home at 11 o'clock at night. That's not what you're thinking about. They're probably tired. Let's get kids in bed. And,
yep.
And so you're not focused on what's going on around you. And, and I don't care who you are. You're not focused 100% on what's going on around you all the time.
Yeah, that's true. It's
not possible. But we can be better.
You can be better. You can always be better.
We can always be better. Anyway, that's the story I have.
Okay, awesome. Let's jump into what we did with guns.
Okay.
Did you do much?
No, but I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Well, first of all, I do have a story that is
Relevant or
absolutely relevant. So Sunday, I sitting in church waiting for the meeting to start, and one of my neighbors, I can't remember how old he is. He's probably 8 or 9, I'm guessing, maybe.
Oh yeah,
maybe
so
10.
kid, yeah.
Young kid. And a couple years ago, with the church, we had this father and son camp out, and I took my air guns up.
Yeah.
And I was helping everybody shoot. And so he's 2 years younger, and I had my little bandit pistol with the red dot on it, and he was mortified. He didn't even want to touch it. And we had a picnic table set up that, I had set him down on the picnic table. The guns were sitting on the table pointing down range and everything. And I talked to him. I'm like, it's okay. I'll help you. And man, it didn't take 5 minutes before he was like, didn't want to leave the bench.
He just was
and he was, I had some steel targets out there. And granted, they weren't long or difficult shots, but he had every shot on target, hitting steel, and just thought that was the coolest thing in the world. Now, his oldest brother, they have a pretty big family. His oldest brother, I helped him, I built his first AR, well, his first gun ever, and since he has bought a Ruger 1022 based on my advice. The mom had bought a 9mm Canic.
Okay, good choice.
And they said she had bought that, and she's like, I'm really nervous to go shoot it. Could you come to the house and like give us a class? And I talked about this on the podcast. I went over, brought a whole bunch of guns. I totally overwhelmed them. I did it absolutely wrong because I'm like, now try this. This is a double action, single action. This is a revolver. This is, and I should have kept it a little more basic and focused on what they had.
Yeah.
And then for Christmas they bought a shield. So they've got some good guns that they're starting off with, and they're getting more comfortable with them. Anyway, I'm sitting in church Sunday, and the young guy comes over and he's like, "Hey, guess what? We went out shooting yesterday, and I shot my BB gun." He got a BB gun for Christmas, so they had saved their gingerbread houses from Christmas and took them out and were shooting their gingerbread houses, and he shot his brother's 22, and talked to the older brother. I'm like, how did your AR shoot? Oh, it was awesome. And so they're all super excited about it. And so it just made me feel good that was a family that I helped very directly to get into all this stuff, and I'm just happy that they're getting comfortable, and they're even going out on their own and doing stuff as a family and just having a good time. And where he went from being mortified, didn't even want to touch the thing,
like an air pistol,
to absolutely loving it. And it was really cool to talk to him about that. I've got so many projects in the works right now that I get out on my fat bike when I can, which hasn't been nearly enough. There's been, actually, this last weekend I didn't even attempt it because there was so much stinking snow. I was like, it's going to be too much to slog through. But I think I may have mentioned on the podcast last time about how my air compressor died, and I realized that it really identified as a smoker, and so we're going through the transition now. It's almost done. So I've got the doors cut and hinges on. I've got to find a piece for my smokestack, and I've got to order the grills so we can get the spacing and get them. Yeah. But so I've been learning to weld, which has been really cool. It's something I've been wanting to do for a long time. So,
you just doing it on your own, or do you have somebody?
No, I have a good friend that his house is actually right next to my shop.
Okay,
and so I go over there. He came over the other day and we were talking. He's like, he's a handyman. Like he redid my bathroom for me and stuff. It's been kind of slow for him the last month or so, I guess. But we were talking. He's like, I've almost bought this plasma cutter. It was such a screaming deal. But he's like, he bought a forklift to flip, and he flipped it in like less than a week and made like $1,200 on it. Yeah. But he was like, he's like, I've got money tied up in this. I really want to get this plasma cutter. I'm like, well, how much is it? And I'm like, dude, here. I'm like, I'll just loan you the money. Just pay me back next month or whatever. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to benefit from that plasma cutter. So he's like, okay, thanks. And then like a week later, he'd flipped that forklift and paid me back. So I'm like, that was easy. And yeah, we've been using the plasma cutter to
cut out the parts for your smoker
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so it was a win-win. But so the smoker's almost done. I have another project, and this one is going to benefit the listeners if they come to my open house when I do them. And I'll do a spring open house like I've done for the last few years. But I have been wanting to do this for a couple of years and just haven't had the time. But I am making a bicycle-powered blender, and I found the perfect bicycle. It's a beach cruiser. It's all Hawaiianed up and bright colors and flowers all over on it. But it says it's the Margaritaville edition. So it says Margaritaville all over on this beach cruiser. So I've got all my components, and I am going to getting ready to mount the blender to the rear rack. And it'll be set up so it's stationary, and you just sit on the bike and pedal, and it will blend up your drinks and stuff. So hopefully, if my engineering is on par and it goes well, in spring when I have my open house, we'll have the blender bike out there mixing stuff, mixing drinks, non-alcoholic drinks. We're in Utah. It's you have to be special to serve alcohol.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be that special. But anyway, so yeah, that and between that and stripping down my old bike, and I'm going to the shop to pick that up to finish building it back up. So that'll tie me up for a little while. But yeah, I haven't been shooting. I'm getting kind of. I really like the winter, and I like being out in the snow and stuff, but I'm done.
Yeah.
I mean, last week we went to bed and almost all the snow that had accumulated was gone, and we woke up to a foot of snow.
Yeah.
it's crazy.
This winter's been crazy for us here in Utah.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I've been, as you would expect, keeping busy doing gun stuff.
Yeah.
And casting, reloading. So one of the things I've been doing is I've been getting ready to cast and load for some of the military rifles I got.
Okay.
So we're talking about like the 6.5 Japanese, the 7.7 Japanese.
Let me know when you're gonna do it.
The 6.5 by 55, the Swedish Mausers.
Swedish stuff over.
And as well, so I've been doing primarily the 6.5s, and then I just cast up a pile of 8mm bullets for the Mausers. Mm-hmm. And so I want to get some test loads made with those cast bullets, and figure out a good load for those. Yeah. And then I need to just get out and shoot.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited to be able to shoot those and shoot them cheap.
Yeah.
It seems like some of the 6.5 cartridges, like the 6.5 Japanese, mm-hmm. that one uses a little bit larger diameter. Sometimes the bores are a little bit larger.
Oh, okay.
In diameter, so it's not so the regular production jacketed 6.5 bullets don't fit quite as well.
Huh.
You get a little bit of...
Well, the Japanese aren't known for their precision, so that makes perfect sense.
But that's the same thing with the Carcano and some of the others. They just require a little bit fatter bullet, and so that's why the cast bullets are kind of nice, because you can cast and coat, and then. But I gotta work on a couple of those, and I am excited to get those out and do some plinking with the old military surplus. Yeah. I'm also doing some more loading for my AK, and I mounted a LPVO, like a Vortex Strikefire 1-8.
Okay.
On it using a Midwest Industries side mount.
Okay.
And so I need to sight that in, but I also want to get some more plinking ammo. I shot all my cast bullets that I had loaded up in the AK.
Oh, okay.
And those shot really well, so I want to do some more, and then with the scope I can kind of group it a little bit better and see how, if my AK doesn't shoot great, then then I'll probably just pull the scope off and just use it as iron sight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also picked up one of those side shot scope mounts.
Okay.
So it's to mount your...
so you can put a camera on it.
Yes,
Cool.
and so I want to kind of do a video on that. I did do a video...
So we can see the carnage when you go squirrel
Yes,
hunting?
I need to get it ready for that 20 practical to, video some of that stuff and some great
That would be
exploding varmints.
Those are a cool little implement. It's
so I need to do a video on that, but I do have that. I've been processing some brass, mostly the big 30 cal, so the 303 British and the 762 by 54R, like the Mosin brass, as well as the AK brass. And then I went to Gunny's and I bought some stuff. I got a bunch of reloading projectiles for the 20 cal.
Okay.
So as Stan refers to Gunny's, the great American gun store.
Yes.
It really is.
It is.
It's like, I don't know. It's the best gun store I've seen.
They do a pretty good job.
You go to Cabela's and it's like huge.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ginormous.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't have the same feel as like the Great American Gun Store Gunny's, you know, with you walk in, people will talk to you and, they usually, it feels like they have more workers working the counter at Gunny's than at Cabela's. And you always
I think they probably do.
You have to, so usually at Gunny's you walk in, you walk straight to the gun counter and talk to people, hold guns, whatever.
Except that time when we were there, Stan bought his Predator.
Oh, it was a busy day?
Oh my gosh. You were off talking to some dude about reloading.
Yeah.
It took us forever. And they were super busy.
Yeah.
It was like, come on. Hello.
It is kind of funny because when somebody says something in politics, then all of a sudden, all these people, I need to get an AR-15. I need to get I just need it. And all those people come in and then they panic buy.
Yeah.
But anyways, that it is cool. I also, I picked up another project gun, a Ruger 204 Ruger as a backup.
Oh.
So
okay.
I will have a 20 cal that explodes varmints.
Okay.
So I also went to NOE, picked up some powder. I got some 4064.
Okay.
And I just been feeling the need to load a ton of 308. So 308, 30-06, and some of the old military stuff. I've just had that itch. I need to. I've loaded a ton of 9mm, and so I just need to get out and shoot a ton of 9mm.
Yeah.
But anyways, and I've done a couple other things, but let's.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll just conclude with that.
Okay.
But I do have something. It's like a mini topic.
Okay.
And this is kind of concerning the state of the reloading components and ammo and all that stuff. And so, as I was talking with Wyatt, the manager over at Gunny's, then he went to, I forget which like show he went to. It wasn't SHOT Show, but it was.
Oh, it wasn't SHOT Show?
Just barely.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think SHOT Show was already over, right?
Well, SHOT Show was a few weeks ago.
Yeah, he just barely got back yesterday.
Oh, okay.
So he went to one of the shows, to try and talk to some of the powder, primer, brass
component people,
manufacturers and vendors, and he was asking him about the availability. And for some reason, Gunny's has always been able to get things in and take care of their customers' reloading needs when things are a little bit tougher to find. And
they've been established for a while.
Yeah, but he will look
probably
high
pay their bills.
He will look high and low for things, and sometimes find it in really interesting places. But I asked him about, because they've gotten in a bunch of small pistol primers. Oh. They are packaged really funny, like a weird packaging. They're in these little flats, and they come in like 1450 or somewhere between 1440 and 1450-ish primers.
Okay.
And just weird trays. I think
Yeah.
they almost look like they were for like a commercial ammunition maker.
Okay.
But they are Ruog / Norma primers.
Huh.
And so I guess for those people who are local to Utah, if you are needing small pistol primers, you can find those at Gunny's, and they are, I think they came out to be, they're not cheap, but he didn't get them cheap either.
Yeah.
So I think he paid, well, I don't know how much he paid, but they're selling for about 80 cents, so $80 1,000. But they're in larger packs, so it costs more.
Closer to $100.
Yeah.
Probably.
So, anyways, those are available. But I was asking him about the, what feedback he had for like us and reloaders coming from a manager at a local gun shop perspective. And I'll just read what he sent me.
His response.
Yeah. He says, I just got back from our biggest trade show of the year. There's nothing improving with the primer situation. In fact, Winchester literally told us if we want any primers at all, we have to buy their premium trophy rifle ammo to get a pity allocation of small pistol primers.
Oh, wow.
That's it, no other sizes.
Wow.
And Hornady said they absolutely will not supply anyone with their primers other than their own ammo production. So they're using all their own primers for their own ammo production.
Yeah. And this ammo's all going to Ukraine.
Yeah.
So it's not like our ammo situation's going to get better either.
Yeah, well, I believe that not all of it is going to Ukraine, but a lot of it is. Yeah. Because you still find ammo, like I think Palmetto sent out a flyer saying that
but
they have
I think it's going to get, I think things are going to get worse still.
Yes. Well, he continues and says, Palmetto said with their new ammo factory with their own in-house primer production, won't be selling primer components in the foreseeable years ahead.
Huh.
And then,
so they're just going to manufacture their own ammo.
Yeah, they're just going to make their own stuff.
Sure.
And then he says, Federal CCI just shipped us a small or a moderate amount of small rifle match Magnum. They continue to forbid any new orders from established dealers. Been their policy for years now. All other importers snobbishly disregarded my renewed pleas to supply primers and components. I'm really frustrated with the industry. Thought you'd like to hear an update about the topic. And then he said, at least Hodgson showed up at this trade show to smile at us as they passed around their new year price list with a large price increase across their lines. He has in parentheses Monopoly.
Yeah.
And tout all their new types and formulas. So, anyways, so that's you can kind of see the struggle for local gun shops and what they're trying to buy stuff, but they can't get it. And when they do get stuff, us end users, reloaders, we complain because the prices are so high.
Right.
But then
they're getting what they can.
He gets what he can at what price he can just to be able to supply the locals. And the prices he's getting they're not great.
Right.
But they're also combining things with, it's like, hey, you have to buy our super match top end ammo if you want any primers at all.
We'll
toss in like a couple thousand primers. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
and you can't blame the manufacturers for doing stuff like that either, because
if they're selling everything they make, then it's tough.
And they're getting stuck with their premium stuff that isn't moving as quickly.
Yeah.
They got to move it too. But I think the lesson that we need to take from this, because I know there are a lot of people out there right now that are still just kind of sitting back waiting, it's going to get better. It's going to get, I think, a lot worse before it gets better. Mm-hmm. And so you might want to buy now, even at slightly inflated prices, before they get worse.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I think.
I agree. I feel like, so I've had a good stash of primers and powder and everything, but
you probably have more powder and primers than some of the shops do.
I do. But yeah, I'm to the point with like some of my components where I'm like, oh, I only have this much left.
Yeah.
Will that be enough for the foreseeable future until production gets going again?
Right.
And if not, is it worth sacrificing other purchases, maybe sell a couple guns, and then get some
to get more components. Yeah.
So that I'll be able to continue casting, reloading, and shooting for a more foreseeable future.
Yeah.
So I've been talking to Al Nelson and a couple other Stan. I was talking with Stan. I think Stan and I might go and get some of those primers. 80 cents each is
crazy.
Pretty crazy, but 80 cents each or 8 cents each. Sorry, that beats 80 cents. That'd be like crazy.
Yeah.
That 8 cents each, it still beats the price on the classifieds and a lot of the online prices that I've seen where it's like 160, 150 for like 1,000 or whatever.
And you're still going to be cheaper than if you're buying loaded ammunition.
Maybe. And that's the thing where you have to, people need to start doing the math of their reload costs and say, how much does the ammo cost right now?
If your time doesn't have any value, then it's pretty
not
easy.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not that the time doesn't have value. It's that what would you be doing with that time spent reloading?
And that's what I mean. If you don't mind sitting there and spending hours and hours reloading, whereas somebody else might be like, I would rather spend the premium to get the loaded ammo and have the time to do other things.
Yeah, a lot of people mistakenly, they say, well, I make this much per hour at my job, so my value, it's not worth it to me to reload.
Right.
My response is always, do you work 24/7?
Yeah.
What do you do in your leisure time?
Yeah.
Do you have leisure time?
Yeah.
Because if I reload in my leisure time, then maybe that saves me money because I would have gone out to, say, like, watch a movie, and that would have cost me a certain amount of money as leisure time.
Right.
So
well, and I think a better way to look at it is okay, if my cost in reloading per round with the components, what they cost is going to be, this much. If I go out and buy it loaded, it's going to cost me this much, and so maybe it's a 20-cent difference.
Yeah.
Is it worth your time to save 20 cents per round? And if you're shooting a couple hundred rounds, it probably isn't. If you're shooting a couple thousand rounds, it's probably worth it.
Yeah. So it just depends on you got to figure out.
There's somebody that's going to the range, every month or two and putting 50 to 100 rounds down range. It doesn't really make sense to get into reloading. If you're doing more or want to do more, then it absolutely makes sense.
Well, here's what's interesting too is, like, you can, when there's an ammo shortage.
Yeah.
If you don't have ammo,
it's a preparedness thing.
Yes. Like, I have never been able to shoot, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
If there's no ammo for months and months and months.
Yeah.
No ammo on the shelves for a year. It doesn't affect me.
It's like having good food storage.
Yeah, it is. And so...
And you beat inflation, too.
Yeah.
With stuff by buying it and storing it.
And if you buy in bulk, you usually save.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's a couple different things you can do. There's, surplus powders that you can... maybe you don't reload with your favorite Hodgson powders because they're $50 a pound.
Right.
And so you use some Midwest powders or, a little bit of the... the pulled powders, and it requires more load development to find a good load.
Right.
Maybe you save money that way, spend more time, but then at least you have that data for the future.
Right.
Which is how I've kind of been able to come up with all these different usable powders for the different use cases that I have.
Right.
And I've discovered that I love ramshot tack. That was one I discovered during the Obama shortages.
Yeah.
And they had an 8-pound jug of tack at Sportsman and like nothing else. And I was looking to reload 223. I saw that it had 223 on the list. I was like, okay, I'll try this. And I actually prefer it now as one of my reloading 223 powders. So.
Nice.
But anyways, we're out of time.
Way out of time.
We went long again. But, yeah. So send us some listener feedback. What are your plans? What do you guys think? Is it going to get worse before it gets better?
Yeah,
and what are you going to do to prepare for that?
Has this affected your shooting? And as it gets worse, will it affect it?
Yeah.
I think it does affect me. I can be kind of stingy, and yeah.
It has affected me because I don't like I haven't shot my 50 BMG as much, and I was
Yeah.
going to play around with some Trail Boss loads.
Oh yeah.
But 80 grains in one shot of a 50 BMG versus, you divide that by about 4 grains and that's how much it takes to make a 300 blackout bunny fart.
Right.
Then it's like, it's totally not worth it. One shot
Right.
versus however many.
Yeah, hundreds.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
All right. Until next time, stay safe, have fun.
Be nice to people and take somebody shooting.